All right, Noah, thank you. Well, training for any type of race takes a lot of time, energy, and patience. As we inch closer to race day, Holden LaCroix and I have some tips and tricks to stay on track in this week's Marathon Monday.
The Eugene Marathon is less than 3 weeks away from starting and finishing right behind me, which means it's crunch time.
Yes, it is. And whether you're running the full marathon, the half like Holden and I, or the 5K, preparing your body is crucial. That's why this week we spoke with the experts to get some tips and tricks to make sure you feel completely ready by race day.
Everyone always thinks like the race is the tough part, but it's like the months that and all the time you put in beforehand, all the early mornings, all of the hard workouts that you put in beforehand.
There's a lot of things to consider before lacing up those running shoes and hitting the pavement. That's why we headed on over to the Eugene Running Company and Run Hub Northwest to understand how to make the most of our last days of prep. Caitlin Carew, who leads the Eugene Running Company training group, tells us there's more to training than just running.
One of my favorite things to include in training is a day where I'm not running to give my body a break. And then I also love including strength training in the training too, because that's really important for preventing injury. Another important piece is nutrition and making sure that you have enough fuel to get you through the race.
And in order to keep your body up to the task, nutrition is great. It's also important to start at your feet and make sure that you have the right gear. Staff at Run Hub Northwest showed us how in-depth they go to make sure you have the perfect shoe.
Once we get a little bit of information about what they're looking for and have that conversation, then we take them through a 3D foot scan. Okay, you can go ahead and step in both feet. Okay, and then just stand still. It takes pictures of their feet and does a pressure mapping and provides us with some detailed sizing information. We also offer a gait analysis. We put someone on the treadmill, have them run at a comfortable pace. We take a video on an iPad and use a software that allows us to put that in slow motion. That also kind of helps us narrow down some footwear that would be best for them.
Once you have the right pair of shoes, it's all about getting in the right mindset. One last piece of advice Schrock Clevenger has for the weeks ahead: practice everything you plan to do on race day.
Have all of that figured out ahead of time so that on race day, like you don't have to worry about it. Then I would just say, like, have fun. Like, the Eugene Marathon weekend is really like such a special weekend for this city.
Now, as a reminder, spots for the event are sold out unless you sign up through a charity fundraising team.
And while we're boosting our own personal endurance, we're also boosting the local economy.
Yeah, that's why next week we're getting a closer look at just how significant this event is for a local community. For now in Eugene, I'm Jennifer Singh.
And I'm Holden LaCroix.